Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and film enthusiasts, welcome to an extraordinary cinematic experience here at TM. We present to you a powerful film that sheds light on a critical issue, human-elephant conflicts. The film delves into the realm where nature and humanity intersect in the most poignant ways. To guide us through this cinematic journey, we have the privilege of hosting two extraordinary individuals who brought this vision to life. Please join me in welcoming the visionary filmmaker Brigitte Kornetsky and the cinematographer of this film, Daniel Bernarda. Their passion for storytelling and commitment to environmental issues make them true luminaries in the world of filmmaking. Brigitte is a human and animal rights activist. She is a multifaceted personality trained in juridical science, philosophy, arts, history, and music. In the early 90s, Brigitte decided to use her expertise in filmmaking to work towards the betterment of the society. She is a notable filmmaker. She has directed numerous of films, out of which some notable films are God No, Say So, Imagine the Sky, Where the Elephant Sleeps, Elephants from Zero to Hero, and one of the films which we are screening here today. Brigitte is also the founder of the NGO named Elephant in Knot, with the heartbeat of a conversationist who loves life and nature to the fullest. She focuses on elephant and nature conservation, the self-sustainability of rural areas and human-elephant conflict areas in Northeast India. I would like to invite Dr. Amrish Saxena sir and Dr. Susmita Bala ma'am to felicitate our esteemed guests. Thank you ma'am, thank you sir. It is ingrained in our Indian heritage to seek the blessings of our elders before any significant endeavor. So, with immense respect and gratitude, I would like to invite Dr. Amrish Saxena sir to enlighten us with his words.
So it's indeed a matter of honor that these two eminent filmmakers are with us today. And we are lucky that they are here and we will be watching their film. And as it has already been told to you, that these filmmakers have done outstanding work by making, not only by making films, but then choosing a subject which is very close to human existence. A lot of films in India, as we are talking to them in India, like the whole focus is on Bollywood and on fiction films. There is very less emphasis on documentaries and films on such subjects which are close to human heart. But they have chosen that kind of subject which is necessary for the world, keeping in view the ecology, keeping in view the environment, and keeping in view the relationship between human beings and animals, because both are important for our well-being, for our prosperity. And so I welcome Daniel and I welcome Brigitte to be here. They are located in different continents of the world, but they are working together to the same cause. And I believe that the screening and the discussion that will be followed by the film screening, which will be based not only on the film screening, but on the issues which are raised in the film and the issues which are pertinent for our society, there will be some good interaction and good takeaway at the end of the session. So thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to invite Dr. Susmita Bala ma'am to felicitate or to give some kind words to us.
Good morning to all of you. Human and animal are in a natural relationship. Both depends on each other for their physical, emotional, and mental well-being. Their relationship also maintains balance in the universe. Among all the animals, elephants are the largest mammals on earth. Humans love elephants, particularly in India. They are part of the social, cultural, and religious life of the people. However, we can notice a conflict between human and elephants, which is in fact a fallout of habitat loss and fragmentation. The greed of human being can also be attributed as one of the reasons of this conflict. Ms. Brigitte Adert-Konefty, a veteran German-Swiss indie filmmaker, has made a significant contribution in reversing human-elephant conflict to human-elephant love. Let us become Brigitte by acknowledging her on elephants, work on elephants. She is an outstanding filmmaker and we are eager to watch her film, The Fall and Rise of Elephants Paradise. I also welcome Mr. Daniel Bernard, a cinematographer of international repute. In DMA Media School, we encourage our students to produce meaningful films, and I am sure that presence of Bridget and Daniel will motivate them to create socially relevant films. I ask the students to enjoy the screening and learn as much as you can from these gems of filmmaking. Thank you. Thanks to all of you.
Before we delve into the heart of today's screening, let's sneak peek into the film's narrative. Without revealing too much, the film navigates the intricate tapestry of human-elephant conflict in India and the disastrous conditions in which these animals survive. As we witness the challenges faced by these magnificent creatures in not-so-human world, we are compelled to reflect our role in this delicate balance. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy this work of art. I'm short of words after watching such a beautiful film. Nothing enough can be said for such a thought-provoking production. But we are lucky to have the director of this film with us in the studio. You all have the opportunity to interact with a world-renowned film director today. But before that, I request Brigitte Konefty ma'am to share her experience and her journey while shooting this film. Ma'am, please.
Yeah. Again and again, it causes me a deep breath. First of all, I would like to address the words of thanks that I had not the opportunity to address to you and to your institute for having me here, welcoming us so much, me and my husband, and the film, and for having all you young students here. It's just such a pleasure, and I'm really, really delighted. So, thank you, Dr. Saxena, and Mom. Okay, yeah, what shall I say? This is a film that I have shot over 4 years. So it's not just an overnight production. Also editing did not just happen overnight. There's a very long version behind that one. It was 120, then it shrank down to 112, and then it was still too long, then it ended up with 90, I think 8 minutes it is. And then I needed another short version, which is that one, with 51 minutes for India to show it to you people, because to see through 99 is too long. So there is always a lot to say, and it's very difficult for somebody like me who works since 2010 in India for the Indian Asian elephants exceptionally, and the conflicts and the lacking welfare issues for elephants in this country. So it took me a while to get to what you have seen tonight, and I haven't watched it for quite a while, and yeah, that was the short version I could come up with. I wonder, how did it come across to you? Because that's the most important question. Did you get the message? Are there questions open? Etc., etc. I'm very curious to know. Do you have camera issues, editing issues to address? Do you have questions about the content? There's probably a lot to raise. I'm open to everything. So that one actually is a one-woman production from the beginning to the end. I had no other sound guy with me, no cameraman with me, no nothing, because I cannot just afford this. It has to be a TV production. We're just coming from a TV production. So I have my ducks in line now, and it will be a different production for sure. And also my husband in that very production did camera as well. I'm very happy about that. And yeah, it is an endless topic when it comes to human-elephant conflict, not just in the northeast, also in the south, around Coimbatore, in the Western Ghats, in Kerala, in Tamil Nadu, in just name it, in all the states, Chhattisgarh. It's just, and it's, in comparison to African elephants, it's such a broad spectrum, because you guys have all this culture behind your elephants, and that makes it so difficult, because some might say, oh, you are an NGO from abroad, or somebody who is white-skinned and comes in here, and all these issues. But I've actually never faced that, but I know that these issues are there, because I feel we are addressing them a little bit more than as it is addressed from the Indian perspective, because you're more used to that. We are not used to that. So we are just, when I shot the first film here, it's also a long feature film, got many awards, numerous, which is called Where the Elephant Sleeps. And I had the opportunity to look behind the curtain in the so-called elephant village in Jaipur. And what I saw was so embarrassing to me. I just could not believe it. And I only could shoot that film because everybody thought I'm coming from a huge TV station. Nobody ever had shot anything in this village. So they applied medicines to the elephants, which are completely medieval. They do not understand the body of an elephant, the physics of an elephant, the needs of elephants, etc., the whole bit. Maybe you get a chance to watch that film too. It's very much recommended. But anyway, before I talk too long, I really would love to again welcome you to ask any question you can think of that comes to your mind, because you are the ones.
It's time to open the floor to your thoughts, questions, and reflections. If you have a question for our esteemed guest, you can, or you want to share your own thoughts about the film, you can talk to the director, and there's a cinematographer too. If you have questions related to production work, if you have questions related to map, you can ask.
Okay. As you are also an environmentalist, so I need to ask the question about the thought behind the film. The thought behind the film. That the film had a scene where elephants' habitat got ruined because of planting a refinery. So, what can we say about protecting the biodiversity in the midst of the development? Because people say that development is necessary, but I feel that protecting biodiversity is also very important, and wild animals like elephants and all that. So, how to do this thing? Matlab, you have made people aware by it. So, what can you say on it?
Okay, that is a very important question. Thank you for that. But it is also an enormous complex question because, as we all know, India has an explosive population. Just the state of Assam has 13 million plus people and some 5,780 something elephants. You might think, no, yeah, okay, that is not, it's an equal balance, but eventually it's not, because forest land, as you have learned from that film, Deer Pahar Reserve Forest, is more and more fragmented. The fringes are encroached by people. Elephants are too much disturbed by there is a foraging animal. It's a herbivore which walks 200 kilometers, 300 kilometers. Eats 200 kg, I want to say, per day, and it walks a huge time of area. If it has to come out of the forest, that means clearly the forests are not big enough, and we have the corridors for that. The corridors is a huge issue because these corridors are not maintained, frankly, by the forest departments. They are, it's a big thing. So, and then in these corridors you see the people chasing elephants. They have to, because the tea plantations are growing in the forest, they are disturbed. The herds are disturbed, and also the people are disturbed because they cannot harvest their crops. So my biggest motivation for that was to bring a film out which talks about that, from the international media to the very place where it was shot.
And my question is that, like, what are the difficulties that you face while shooting this film? And second of all, like, what is the idea for shooting the entire film? And I had one feedback also, I literally got tears in my eyes while watching the film.
See, when I traveled first time to Assam, I had no idea what I'm seeing there, what I'm facing there. And I'm just a camera person. I lift up my camera the moment I see something, what is going on here? So I have that. And that adds, of course, to the footage throughout the film. The same happened in Jaipur and Hatika. I had the film title already in my head, and I had not shot one single scene of where the elephants was. The idea behind is the same, basically the same answer that I answered to your friend that's sitting next to you. It is to bring awareness. As a documentary films are made to bring the issues closer to you, which we have, because we have a huge biodiversity things. We have actually a terminology that at my time, in your age, did not even exist. With climate change, oh my God, what is this? This word didn't exist. We just did not have that 50, 60 years back. So now we are facing a completely different, everybody is talking about environmental issues, climate change, biodiversity, etc., etc. So we cannot just go ahead and say, okay, forests are fragmented, we replant the fodder in the forest for the elephants. That's not going to work like that easy. We need to have scientific studies in place to know what is growing there, what the elephants eat, because they have a huge variety of feeding patterns, some 60 minimum, different kinds of roots, grasses, fruits, barks, whatever they travel through, And the same disposal goes back into the out because they take all the bits in their stomach and it comes out the other end beautifully enough. Yeah, so that is the engineer of the forests. And we cannot just go ahead as a human being and say, hey, we plant for the elephants right there. We can do plant like Hatibondo here to a certain extent to avoid these conflicts so that because that's not throughout the whole year. There is a local herd, but that's a different matter. Throughout the whole year, they do not come, there is no crop harvest. Crop harvest is October, November, December, no, January. So then everybody has harvest in, and that's the main time where the elephants come into the picture, because then they want to eat. Yeah. Any more questions?
Ma'am, my question is, ma'am, there is one scene about the tusk in the movie. Ma'am, elephant's teeth. The tuskers.
The tusker?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, in that, ma'am, you can add something on that. Why the tuskers take the teeth of the elephant? Ma'am, smuggling of the tuskers. Smuggling of the tuskers.
Smuggling of the, yes.
The reason behind it.
It's basically poaching. That is poaching. And in Mizoram or in Nagaland, there is even in the Karbi hills, is poaching going on, and they sell the meat of the elephants on the market. They sell it underneath themselves. You know, it's that kind of thing. Is that what you mean? Yeah. The long version has an extensive explanation to that one. The short version is just shorter on that issue, but it's poaching. But poaching again is not as big as it is, like, let's say, in Africa, where a huge cartel from the Asian market comes in. That is more local poaching. It's not ivory poaching in sense of, my God, also, that's maybe addressed better to you, in a sense of we poach because of the ivory has to go to market. That's not it. That's more for the meat.
Yeah, the movie was very nice. I felt very nice while watching the movie, and I think everybody can see the hard work that you have put on to make the movie beautiful.
Thank you.
But if you get the chance to go back in the time and add something to this movie, what would it be? Oh.
I mean, it's a bit a cat's tail thing. You run in circles in a way because you find always the same problematic patterns all over the place. Be it here in Assam, be it down there in Coimbatore, or be it everywhere else, we have the same patterns. So to add something is what I would definitely add, but then I might be a bit boring as well, is more the scientific side to it. You know, to talk about the biodiversity of a forest and the fact that we cannot just easily in 10 years catch up with something like that, not even in a year. It could be added also that the appeal could be added that we need to take provisions from what we see now, and it's easily to deduct what we see in the future. Because if we keep going like this, you see the map, the Google map from 2016 to now, the corridors are getting, I mean, there's nothing left of forest. So where do they go? Basically it's all told, what's the must to be told there, but I would add some more scientific things into it, definitely. Would you add something? Tell me. I'm curious. Huh?
So it was very nice.
So you must have something in your mind what you want to add. Are you sure? You can tell me anything. I don't mind if there are lacking things, because lacking things always, enrich the desire to make another one.
It was very nice. I got goosebumps while watching the movie.
Oh.
The cinematography was, oh wow.
Thank you. It's really hard work. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, we can have the next question.
Greetings everyone. I would like to ask you a question, sir. That what are the some tips and tricks you would like to give to the new cinematographers? Like some ways to keep them more interesting in cinema.
Yes. Also, I'd just like to say thank you for the opportunity to be here. I think for me, I was a photographer for many years, just doing photography. And in my later years, moved over to cinematography. And I think the thing about it is I do it because I love doing it. It's not a job. And I think if you do something that you really enjoy, you never get tired of it. It's, for us, it's not about the money, it's an enjoyment of doing it. And of course, wildlife, to be a wildlife cinematographer, you have to be a conservationist before you even, a photographer or a cinematographer. Yeah, so I would, you just got to follow your passion. And I think a lot of people that go into, that are people that I've met that have gone into the filming side of things, it's out of passion for filming. And it's such an interesting medium. I mean, you can literally film almost anything. Years ago, we would walk through a mall and you're staring at people, and people think you're funny because you're always looking through an eye of a lens. So if you're seeing something that you want to film, people get caught off guard because you're not looking at that subject or that person as a stranger just sitting and staring at something. You're looking at them through a lens. You're seeing, wow, they would look beautiful in a lens, or this subject would look beautiful through a lens. Yeah, so it is, I would love to have some young people working with us. We're getting older, and nice to have young people just coming up and taking over. So I also want to just very quickly carry on what you were saying, asking about the development and conservation. The thing is with humans, we're very good at managing. We like to manage everything, especially wildlife, nature. But we're not very good at managing ourselves. Who of you don't have a cell phone? I don't see one hand. Everybody's got a cell phone. And there's a saying that they say, if a tree could produce Wi-Fi signal, we'll be planting trees everywhere. But because they only produce oxygen, we don't care. And that's just the fact. We have to look, we can't live without nature, without wildlife. If we take that away, other things come into play, diseases and all kinds of other things. Your ecosystem gets disturbed. Yeah, so it's important. Development's important, but so is wildlife. Yeah.
Next question, please.
Hi ma'am, I wanted to know from when did you start feeling compassionate about elephants, and tips and tricks to ideate this kind of movie, and the process to ideate and to commit to make it to the screen.
It ends up a bit with the same question like my Dan already answered, and that is, it's a passion. At the very end, it comes out like this, it flows down to that. I always have been loving animals, like anything. Actually, I come from human rights, from Africa. And the experience there, at times when I was in Sierra Leone and this major warlord Charles Taylor just flew over my head, captured by the Nigerian border and delivered to jail downtown in Freetown. I cannot even tell you what I did to bring that film out big, and I've sent it to almost every president on the planet, which is kind of involved in this. And I stranded. Completely. I mean, the film got major awards, but that doesn't do me anything. I want to change matters. That is my yes. Who wants to ask a question? You know, I really want to change matters, not just make a film and be with the red carpet. It doesn't interest me. I really want to have the people be aware who live there or elsewhere, and just to understand that we're breathing the same air on this planet. We're sharing the same animals on this planet. There is no big difference on that. And frankly, the passion will bring it out. It's not that you can buy something for that. You can, you know, it's I don't know what to answer. I'm really helpless with it because I'm so involved into it. Yeah. So I wish that when you all study and you learn your techniques, I didn't do that. I did not have that chance. Because as I said, we did not even have these faculties on the university, no. I come from basically a cotton dry reading books, philosophy studies, or theoretical science studies. But the desire just to go out in nature and figure out what's going on there. I wanted to know, because that's not taught in the university, frankly. So I had a huge learning curve ahead of me, and I just was running to catch up, and I loved it so much so that, you know, everybody who I can only encourage, just go. Take from the university what you can get. Take it, but keep in mind the major teachers, I would say, are out there, are everywhere. Out in the wild, out in the city, you learn constantly. That's what I mean by that. So.
Yes.
Somebody else.
Hi ma'am. My question is that when you make such docudramas, like many of docudramas and like documentaries, like these movies have been made, but most of them like earn viewership like yours. But do they, apart from earning viewership, earn any other benefit, like any steps which have been taken forward, like any benefit you have earned, like for the elephants, like for the wall that was created? Do you think that any more steps are being taken down by the government when even the officials are aware that it's illegal? Like, will it be broken down or something?
I understood so every third word, but I can get that thing together.
Okay, so like, okay, when you make such things, like you made this docudrama, people got aware about the issue being that's taking place, like the hardships faced by the elephants. But apart from like people being aware, do you think that any other benefit will be earned from this? Like the government would take any step for the issues that are being existing there? Like that wall which was created by the refinery, and you clearly stated that it's illegal, and the officials are aware about it too. But it's still there, it's not been broken down. So do you think that this hard work of yours will bring any benefit?
If some action will be taken or not?
That is a very complicated matter because you can hear me, no? Yeah. Now between all of us, this is the premiere tonight. Hasn't been shown anywhere else yet. And I was like, dragging my feet. Oh my God! I did not go through all the perfect, very 100,000% perfect little details because I didn't have the time. Anyway, that's another. So it's not really released yet. It will be released, I think, in February, March, when the festival season here starts at CMS in Delhi, Vatavaran. And then we'll see. The thing is that the release of, let's say, Where the Elephant Sleeps, my
previous, its mic is off, but if you can hear me, then I also can talk a little louder and without the mic, whatever, yeah? The previous film, Where the Elephant Sleeps, which was released in 2016, I followed a completely different path, because normally you have to enter the highest festival possible and then go from there. And I basically was requested by a meeting of people I know from Wildlife Rescue and Rehabilitation Center, and they said, oh, we're going to Delhi to an agricultural meeting with the ministry, and can we screen the film? And I said, yes, of course you can, because the purpose of a film is just to be screened. Thank you. The purpose of a film is just to be screened. It doesn't want to do it. No. It's okay. We can handle it out. You know, so I went a completely different direction, and that, Where the Elephant Sleeps, previous one, has changed. It wasn't just an outcry. If you watch that film, you see Ayurvedic medicines applied. They have all foot rot because they are not taking care of their toenails. The toenails overgrow. They're walking downhill. The toenails crack and break, and all the dirt and the stuff travels into their cuticles and creates inflammation there. So, foot rot is like you have a fist-sized hole and you push it down. And they have treated that with a medieval ancient medicine, which is just charcoal, burning charcoal, and carved it out. You know what is just an example of how things have changed. That the heel of an elephant is boneless. It is just a cushion, and this cushion is transmits basically what is happening on the ground, but they walk. You will not hear anything. They just walk completely on velvet cloth. But what comes through the information that comes while they walk in the forest is like from herds far, far, far back. That information they collect. So these elephants in Jaipur, they stand on concrete floor around the clock, chained. When they are in must, heavily chained. Front legs, back legs, everything on them is chained. So how can you, I mean, you just need to look at this creature and you understand, wait a minute, there's something wrong here. It doesn't take much to understand that one. So that film run the gamut of all and everything, and it's still shown in many, many places. What the sad thing is that I think that, see, there came out an amendment of the Wildlife Protection Act from 1972 in 2000 last December, 2022, which said that so basically the thing is that the amendment has facilitated the training of elephants. And they all come from, not all, but many, many of these elephants come from Assam. They are caught illegally, transported illegally, and shipped to places in, let's say in Jaipur in that case, and then they have to work in the tourist industry. They die, and they just get on the same paper. One goes, the next comes in. Bakshish to the forest department, bakshish to the government, bakshish to almost everybody. Sorry to say so, but that is the reality. So this amendment from last December 22 has facilitated the trade of the elephants between the states. And it says literally, it is for religious purpose and other. So now I'm asking everybody who studies law in here, how can you have a term and in a legal bill that is for everybody and everything in this country, say, and other, and there's not asterisk somewhere, there is not anything defined on that, it's nothing. So it makes clear one more time that this elephant business is a highly paid one by people who, let's call it mafia. There is an elephant mafia in Jaipur, there is an elephant mafia in Kerala, in Tiruvannamalai, on all these festivals, and nobody wants to go against it because it's such a religion. The shell is religion, but the inside of this egg is completely business, and this elephant suffers from it. Yeah, it's very difficult to get somewhere officially. For that bill last year, we have spearheading people in India, which Dr. Raman Sukumar and Surendra Varma, professors from the Institute of Ecology in Karnataka, in Bangalore, and even they did not write the appropriate letter of biologists or ecologists to that very committee there in Delhi to address the matter that an elephant is not and will never be a domesticated animal. It doesn't work.
To make a long story short.
Yeah, sorry for getting so into the...
To make a long story short, if you do not try to do something, nothing will happen. So we have to, everybody has to do try something. Even if nothing happens, as long as you try, that's the most important.
Namaste, ma'am. According to me, it is according to me, it is once in a blue moon thing that when you prepare such documentaries or make such movies, you don't find any obstructions from the side of government. I would like to know, did you face any such obstructions, and if yes, then what were they?
No, I did not face any obstructions, and that the very first film was given the, oh my God, what is the abbreviation for that? The CFS something. It's a clearance for wildlife in 2-3 weeks time. No issues. Yeah. On that.
Next question. Good afternoon all. Ma'am, actually, as you said earlier, when you were traveling to Assam, you had no idea what the things were being there. So how did you approach the experts and officials which were shown in this video? And basically, you have convinced the people of there to be a part of this video. How difficult was that? Because it had a long language barrier between you and between the villagers. So how easy or difficult it was for you to convince them to be a part of this video or movie, I would say?
As a Dr. Rajin Barman that you have seen here from Wildlife Trust of India, he had nothing to reject on that. He was happy to speak actually, and I experienced that quite often, that people are very, very willing to speak up, and finally somebody comes, yeah. Also the veterinarian, Dr. Naveed Pandey, was happy to talk about the law and the Green Tribunal decision, and that nothing happened in reality. You know, India is one of these states which has a lot of respect and love for wildlife, and there are great, great people in the field, absolutely adorable. But yet it is difficult for I don't know what it is. It is just difficult to implement things and then to survey what you have implemented. Because very often we have the laws in place, not talking about the last one, but, and it doesn't, nobody controls it. You know, what we desperately need would be in rural areas, we have to clear the corridors. There might even a mitigational aspect of planting on these sides of the corridors, donate a piece of land to the side of the corridors, so that they can come from one forest patch to another forest patch more easily and undisturbed. So we have a lot of things to do like that, because the forest doesn't simply regrow, but we have to prevent encroachments. Definitely. Yeah, because, yeah. You want to say something?
You know, I also think that if you want things to change, you need to involve government. You never want to make an enemy of people that are opposition. You want to do it in a subtle way that you are not offending, but at the same time getting your message across to try to change and bring change. So the big thing in journalism, I think, is not to go out guns blazing, shoot down everybody, knock down everybody. What they do, it may be wrong what they're doing, but how do you do it in such a way? And I think with Brigitte, you know, when I watch her with people, she has a very good. It's very sad to see things. You're an animal lover, and you're seeing all these things being done to these animals, but you have to hold your emotions back as a journalist and to bring your story and bring it in a way that it does not offend but brings change. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Agreed.
Well, that was an insightful session. Now I would like to call on stage one of our film appreciation student, Soumya Sen from 5B, who is also a film enthusiast, to share her thoughts on this film.
The Fall and Rise of Elephant's Paradise, a poignant and eye-opening documentary film that not only shedded light on the dire living conditions of elephants, but also serves as a testament to the resilience of communities and the power of compassionate solutions. As we witnessed the heartbreaking consequences of habitat fragmentation and human-elephant conflict, the film took us on a journey with a young couple and an organization of affected farmers who refused to accept tragedy as inevitable. This documentary beautifully captured the transformative efforts of these individuals who, faced with the challenges posed by highly populated areas and human behavior, actively engaged in re-establishing essential fodder habitats for elephants. By planting vast areas of food for the majestic creatures, they not only mitigated the conflict, but also secured the livelihoods and harvest of the local farmers. This film stands as a shining example of how love, respect, and proactive measures can turn the tide, offering a beacon of hope for harmonious coexistence between pachyderms and the stupid human animals. It showcased a solution-oriented approach to the grave issue of human-elephant conflict. This film encourages viewers to recognize the potential for positive change in even the most challenging situations. And we hope for people to take interest and suitable measures for the same. For the upcoming filmmakers, we really hope that they do take interest in awareing people about these kind of topics more. Well, we all love red carpets, but what we need is a nature green carpet. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Soumya. As we conclude today's event, we extend our deepest gratitude to Brigitte ma'am and Daniel sir for bringing this impactful film to our screens. Before we end this session, let's take a moment to express our gratitude to those who made this event possible. A heartfelt thank you to our Dean sir, HOD ma'am, and our technical team who have worked tirelessly to bring this event to life. Let's acknowledge the dedication of our professors and students who are a great audience as well. Thank you all for being a part of this cinematic experience. We hope the film left a lasting impact on you. Before we wrap up, on behalf of the entire team, have a wonderful day and keep supporting meaningful cinema. Goodbye and see you.